Okay, welcome back to the Jez Rzinski Show. I'm Jez Rzinski. Today we're going to jump into the hypocrisy of pretty much everything that's happening right now, because there's a lot of it. And nothing's going to get better if we don't hold people accountable for all the hypocrisy. Yeah. In all situations. Nothing's ever going to get better. There ain't going to be any unity and fixing anything or anything of the sort if we don't manage to stop all that. So we can go to, let's say when people take over government buildings, like when they stormed the Capitol, which I'm not gonna give any praise to anyone that took in that, because it was pointless, dangerous, didn't accomplish anything. Lives were lost. A lot of people going to jail now, and the only thing we accomplished was lots of National Guard troops being in the Capitol right now. I mean, a lot. Last number I heard was like 13,000. That's a lot. But, it's funny, the same people, though, that were all for the riots and everything that happened last summer, and we all remember them, can't miss it, unless you're blind. But a lot of the people, I guess all the people, that were telling them things like, stay in the streets, keep up the fight, don't stop. And all that are now turning around. When I find that to be, what they were doing was domestic terrorism of some sort. I mean, it had to be. Everything. All the damage and destruction, death. They did everything. Yeah, that was a bad scene. But there are people out there that were starting websites and having, putting up the link and sharing it for people to donate to a fund they were starting for bail money for the people that were getting arrested during all of that. When they're, torching buildings, looting everything, people were dying, cops were getting executed, federal agents blinded, people's lives destroyed in seconds. And, those same people now that condoned that forever are now suddenly flipping the script and going after the people that stormed the Capitol last week. And again, I think that they're both one and the same. If you're going to hold one, call them domestic terror group, then the other people that were doing the same exact thing, to include like police precincts and federal courthouses and stuff, then they should get the same treatment. You can't have it when one group of people can protest and do whatever they want for months, and people have their back and are defending them, saying that's what they need to do. You can't, my real point is you can't attack one without attacking the other, especially when you were defending the other. Saying they need to stay in the streets, keep fighting. Keep up the good fight. Don't let up, don't stop. Like, we all saw it. Anyone with, two eyes saw it. And if you somehow missed it, I give you all the credit in the world for being able to miss all of that. It was everywhere. I mean, you can look it up. It's everywhere. There's videos of it. There's interviews. Tweets from them. Facebook stuff. And I'm sure a lot of other places. It's everywhere. And I just have a problem with that, because you can't go and say that one group is allowed to run wild for several months, which they did. Lots of cities suffered because of it. You can't go and condone that and then turn around and condemn what happened last week. Can't have it both ways. If one is an act of domestic terrorism and is a vile, useless thing to do, then guess what? The other one was too. And we can't keep letting everyone, that's really running the show, just go back and they have double standards for everything. Hypocrisy and double standards in all of it are mesmerizing, really, when you think about it. It's crazy. But it's been right there in front of your face for months now, really years. We keep voting for them, people keep doing that, just pointing fingers. No, like one side or the other. No, there's people on, like, both sides. The same old, the same group of people that's been there forever. A lot of them. I just got to do something to fix that. And then, now this one really is at the Speaker. How do I put? She was commending the people when they stormed, took over the Capitol building to go after their governor a few years ago. She was all for people, taking over that one part of the Capitol building and building them, during the Kavanaugh ordeal. I'll call it an ordeal. It was a confirmation hearing, I suppose, but it really was just a smear job, really. That's all they did. Ran through the mud and everything, and him, his family, everything. It was a cluster. That's a nice way to put it. It was a cluster. It's a cluster, you know what. And again, here they are. Here she is, calling them domestic terrorists. She called President of the United States a terrorist. All of his people, followers, because heaven forbid, there aren't millions of good, decent ones. It's like there are people on the left. There's tens of millions of really good, hardworking people on both sides. But there she is, saying that one side is a domestic terrorist, and the people that are doing dumb stuff on the other side are completely fine. They're just mostly peaceful protesting, and they're fighting for their rights and to, make change and help everyone's life by destroying cities. And I try not to be super partisan here, but pretty sure the Speaker of the House shouldn't be throwing out big things like the President's a leader of pretty much, they compared him to Al-Qaeda, pretty sure, during the whole impeachment thing the other day, which she was leading. She gave her speech, and a lot of other people did, comparing Trump to Al-Qaeda. That brings up another thing, hypocrisy. Because I swear, for months they were saying he's the one dividing everything and being so divisive and talking so angrily about everything. But even in victory, there they are calling him and all of his people domestic terrorists. He's the leader of a terror group, which is why, he's such a danger to the American people. Like, he's gone in a week. We went how many months without getting, anything accomplished? Stimulus packages that took forever, all that. But in a matter of, a week, she managed to have that happen. They finished all the voting through all the states. She managed to get an interview and do a little tour there, apparently with Leslie Stahl for 60 minutes, whatever her name is. And they managed to do this. Really in 10 minutes compared to anything else they've done all year. And, calling everyone terrorists. I'm pretty sure AOC was on there. Pretty sure she said that she didn't feel safe being, when they were ushered out of their chambers, because, the building was breached, that she didn't feel safe being in there with members of the GOP because she felt that they might be giving away their location and that they were part of it. And they helped give people tours so they could see what they were doing. We're supposed to be unifying and not pointing fingers, trying to work together. How are you going to do that when you turn around and go and call your fellow, the senators, congressmen, everyone, representatives from all over the place doing all kind of, saying that you feel that they were in on it and got everyone's life in danger? What's that going to accomplish? I can tell you what it's going to accomplish. I know exactly what it's going to accomplish, which is nothing. It's just going to incite more stupid. That's all it's going to do. And yet they keep doing it. And they keep smearing, saying that we're like anyone on the right just doesn't, even people on their side that don't agree with all they're saying, our enemies need to be taken, out of society, really. What's that going to, what? What's that going to do to help fix anything by turning around and calling them people that you serve with in the same, chamber there doing stuff? How is that? How are you guys going to work together when you're saying that you feel that they helped coordinate it and let people in? What in the wide world of whatever adjective you'd like to throw in there is that going to do? Maybe I just been seeing it. This goes back decades, though. It's just everything that happened last week and all the fallout from it. And the impeachment, you just got to sit there and just hear piss and vinegar from both sides. But at least, one side was calling out the other for condoning what happened all last summer and calling all these people domestic terrorists suddenly, and because they can't have it both ways, which I don't think the people should let them have it both ways. One thing is bad, all of it's bad. I think it's pretty simple. Straight to the point, easy. But it's not. Just like when it comes to them accusing a few of the members, Republicans, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, those people for being seditionists because of their objection to the certification of some states because of things that happened. It's amazing how they forget that Nancy was there in 2005, did it. After Trump won in 2017, they did the same thing. They did it in states where he won by 30 points. They did it in places where there was zero chance, but they did it just to do it. And it was okay for them to do it, apparently. It's okay for them to do whatever they want. And then they turn around and they're seditionists and they need to be removed from office because they did the same thing you guys just did 4 years ago after Trump won in states that were well closer than some of those states. Again, I'm not trying to go against, one whole side, but they make it really hard. Because here we are. I just put up all those examples. And I have more in my head, just on the top of my head without having to look. It is obnoxious how much hypocrisy and double standards and just stupid ignorance there is in the people that are supposed to be running the country. I don't know. Maybe I just hold myself to a higher standard than people do, or maybe I just don't like hypocrites and liars and people like that, because I don't, and I don't think most people do. But, we're not going to, again, hate to say it, I don't think we're going to get, united anytime soon, just because this is supposed to be them trying to unify everyone, and they are just going out of their way to piss off as many human beings as possible and make everything even more chaotic. You'd think, people with half a brain after what happened would, try to do something besides just piss more people off. But apparently I'm very wrong when I feel that way, and I say it, and, I say screw them, because they're not going to change my mind on that. But, it is what it is. Sadly, we're not going to be able to change any of it. You got to just go in there and, let your voice be heard in a, peaceful, do it in the voter box, start discussions, do stuff like that. But a lot of these same people, they're not helping. None of them are. None of them care about unity. They just care about what they want, their agenda. Hominis dominus, see you later, goodbye. And that's not going to help anything. Again, like the video, share, subscribe, comment on it. Tell me what crazy stuff, if I missed anything. I'm sure I did. Sure I slipped somewhere. But there's a lot of it out there. And, you know, as long as that's still happening, this whole entire thing's just going to keep rolling downhill and getting worse. And I really just don't think we need that as a country. But appreciate the watch, and until next time, peace.